playing one soccer, over the record book is the first professional opponent of the split boxing Cassius Clay. Weighing only 183 pounds, Clay, all overall boxing fans turned out to see their young Olympic gold medal winner. He did not disappoint anyone. The thing was confident. What Clay got smart. He was one of his professional leaders with a flash unanimous decision. First professional victory of the confident young Cassius Clay.
Thus neutralizing most of Clark's counters. Clark's got him by the ropes, but Cassius holds him. Clay's speed has Lamar missing badly. Even though Clay has had only 5 professional fights, he's already showing some of the moves and style that mark him as a fighter to watch. In round 4, the action continues with Clay taking more and more control of the fight. Cassius lands a good one too. The Louisville fans appreciate the action as Clark tries to come back. Clay staggered Clark with that combination. Clark is down. Clay doesn't punch flat-footed, but those combinations sure pack a lot of cumulative wallop. Clark seems recovered from that knockdown. In round 5, Cassius Clay looks as if he wants to take Clark out. He's feinting and trying to get Lamar to lead. Clay lands again. Clay lifts to the right and Clark is down. Those 4 punches landed in under a second and a half. The fans realize that it's all over and Cassius Clay celebrates another KO victory.
Welcome to the Fight of the Week. I'm Don Dunphy, your ringside commentator. Tonight's 10-rounder from the Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center in Louisville, Kentucky, brings together Cassius Clay, 1960 Olympic boxing champion from Louisville, and experienced Alonzo Johnson of Rankin, Pennsylvania. The 19-year-old Clay has made a great start as a professional. He's won all 7 of his fights, 5 of them by knockouts. As an amateur, Clay won the 1960 Olympic light heavyweight, the National AAU light heavyweight, and the Golden Gloves heavyweight crowns. Now his sights are on bigger game. Johnson, 26 years old, was born in Aberdeen, Mississippi. He's a tough, hardy campaigner whose record shows wins over Nino Valdez and Tony Anthony. In 26 bouts, he has won 19 and lost 7. He shows 6 knockouts and has never been stopped. Johnson is 5 feet 11 and a half, while Clay stands 6 feet 2 and a half. At the State Athletic Board weigh-in this morning, Clay came in at 192 and a half, while Johnson was 189. In just a few minutes, a 10-round heavyweight fight between Cassius Clay and Alonzo Johnson will get underway. Well, we're almost ready to go here in Louisville, so let's get up into the ring, and the ring announcer, George Lewis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a William H. King presentation. The ring officials are assigned here by the Kentucky State Athletic Board of Control, Bob Evans, Commissioner. Your judges are Harlow Edwards and Walter Beck. Your timekeeper, Ed Roby. Counting at the knockdown, Soldier Buck. Your attending physician, J.P. Sutherland. And your referee, Don Asbury. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing, and presenting from Louisville, Kentucky, weighing 192.5 pounds, Cassius Clay. And his opponent from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 189 pounds, Alonzo Johnson.
Let's have a good, clean fight. Watch your hip punching and holding. Don't hold with one hand, hit with the other one. When I say break, break clean. The mandatory 8 counts in effect. Man goes down 3 times in 1 round, fight's over. If you go down once, you must take the count of 8. Shake hands now, come out fighting, good luck to both.
Scoring here in Louisville, the 5-point must system. The winner of the round gets 5 points. The loser, anything less, even rounds, each man gets 5. It's an 18-foot ring, and they're wearing 8-ounce gloves. A 10 round to the bell for round 1. Clay in the white trunks, Johnson in the black trunks. You're going to see a fast fighter in Cassius Clay. Clay has great speed, quick hands. He figures to double and triple jab his man. Johnson has been in with the best. Johnson told us he was going to press Clay. Clay is a good counter puncher. He's not been landing with the right hand, Clay hasn't, but he has been pumping that left in hard. There goes a good right. Johnson is trying to corner him.
Left hand. In the gut.
Don Asbury, the referee, getting them apart. Johnson's main hope at the moment seems to be for the youngster to make a mistake. One minute to go in round 1. Note the rapidity and the dexterity of Clay's left hand. Sometimes starts it out as a jab and turns it into a hook. However, up on his toes as he is, he's not getting much punching power. Johnson is the more flat-footed of the two to give him power. Ten seconds to go in round 1. There's the bell.
Bullseye, a $2.84 value for only $1.95. Now get a can of Gillette Right Guard deodorant, regularly 89 cents, free with the Gillette adjustable razor and dispenser of Super Blue Blades, all for the price of the razor set alone. Right Guard is the power spray deodorant for men. 2 seconds gives you 24-hour protection, dries on contact. Not like messy creams you have to rub in to get down where odor begins. And Right Guard is free with the Gillette Adjustable, the razor that you set for your skin and beard. Plus, those amazing new Gillette Super Blue Blades for shave so comfortable it's hard to believe you're shaving. Here it is, the Gillette Adjustable Razor, Super Blue Blades, and Right Guard deodorant for the price of the razor set alone, $1.95.
Coming up to round 2 here in Louisville, Kentucky. Cassius Clay, white trunks, Alonzo Johnson in black. Get close enough, you'll see that Johnson's face is well smeared with Vaseline. Although it may rub off by the time we see it if he turns this way. Johnson has his back to us. Now Clay is going flat-footed to hit a little harder. He's getting more power in his punches. Somebody behind us is yelling, Alonzo's an old man. He'll be 27 years old in September. Or rather, November. Clay apparently has a superabundance of energy. Less than a minute to go in round 2. Johnson working the body to slow down his faster opponent. Those long right hands of Clay are landing, but without too much steam. He's got no follow-through on them. Johnson equalizing things a little bit there. Back to the corner with Cassius Clay. Facing him is Angelo Dundee, the well-traveled trainer of fighters. He goes all over. On the outside is Solomon McTeer with the towel over his head. He was Ingemar Johansson's sparring partner for a while. And on the right-hand side is Rudy Clay, the brother of Cassius, who is an amateur fighter. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ring, we have Alonzo Johnson. Facing him and wiping off the face and maybe putting some more Vaseline on is manager Mike Bazone, who's also the cut man in the corner. Leaning in from the outside, a familiar figure, Bob Baker. Once rated heavyweight, he was number 2 contender for a while. A great boxer, Mr. Bob was. And the other man in the corner is Andy Tutter, carrying the pail out now. As we come up for round 3 here in the Kentucky Exposition Hall. Round 3, Cassius Clay, the white trunks, comes out a little bit like Hurricane Jackson used to. Alonzo Johnson in the black. There's the grease on Johnson's face. Johnson caught him leaning that time. The referee. 10-round bout, and Johnson is biding his time, apparently. 1 minute to go in round 3. 'Clay is undefeated, but he's never fought anyone of the caliber of Johnson. Johnson himself has never been knocked out. Ten seconds to go in round 3. There's the bell.
Here comes a tip on a new small cigar from lovely Edie Adams.
Coming up to round 4 in the Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center, a $16.5 million building which seats 22,000, and not a post to obscure view. Round 4, Cassius Clay, the white trunks, Alonzo Johnson in black. In Johnson's corner, the best of the fight. Clay is just too fast for Johnson. Round 4 is half over. Now Clay is pot-shotting his man. 5 seconds left in the round. Johnson down. And there's the mandatory 8 count. He bounced right up. He claims it's not a knockdown. And the referee says no knockdown. The referee first decided to count, started to count, and then decided it was no knockdown. Johnson was off balance, but he was hit, too. There's the bell ending round 4. The referee taking Clay back to his corner. Don Asbury was also a fighter, amateur and pro, and was the All-Navy heavyweight champion and the Kentucky heavyweight champion quite a few years ago. Don Asbury, the referee. There's a crowd of 7,100 here tonight, one of the largest crowds to see a fight here in many years. Here's something of interest to all sports fans. Saturday is Sports Day on ABC. The best in boxing and the best in bowling on Make That Stir After the Fight and ABC's Wide World of Sport. Next Saturday, you'll be in Japan's Nagoya Stadium for the Japanese All-Star Baseball game. The following Saturday, ABC switches to Cheyenne, Wyoming for the Cheyenne Rodeo. Coming up, NCAA and Professional American League Football and the Orange Bowl Classics, all on ABC, television's #1 network for sports. Round 5, Cassius Clay, the white trunks, Alonzo Johnson in black. No question but that Clay has dominated the fight during the first 4 rounds, mostly with his speed, but Johnson is winging away. Clay's corner is yelling to him to hook. Go the left hook. He leans pretty well back from punches, Alonzo, rather, Cassius Clay does. However, leaning is considered dangerous, too. If you get tagged in that position, you might go out. One minute to go in round 5. Turning it on now, as you see. Ten seconds to go in round 5. There's the bell.
Ida Lupino, what are you up to?
Shh. Don't tell the gentlemen. But the ladies have also caught on to the Gillette Super Blue Blade. Now, you've probably heard one man ask another, Have you tried the new Gillette Super Blue Blade? Well, that goes for the women, too. And no wonder. Because most of the fastidious women I know protect their daintiness the Gillette way. Because it's so smooth, so fast, and so comfortable.
Have you tried the Super Blue Blade? Well, try it in the Gillette adjustable razor. With its micrometer dial, you turn to one of 9 settings to match your skin and beard. Now, with each Gillette adjustable set, you get an 89-cent can of Gillette Right Guard Power Spray Deodorant free. 2 seconds gives you 24-hour protection. A $2.84 value, adjustable razors, Super Blue Blades, and Right Guard deodorant, only $1.95.
Coming up to round 6 here in Louisville, and Cassius Clay in the white trunks. As the bell rings, Alonzo Johnson in black, and if Johnson is running out of gas, which he seems to be, it is going to be a very rough evening for the young man from Rankin, Pennsylvania. Clay's from Louisville. There have been no official knockdowns in the fight. Johnson went down in the 4th round, but it was ruled no knockdown. Clay shows signs of maybe getting a little bit weary. Johnson still beating the body as hard as he can. Pretty hot all over the country tonight, and that goes for Louisville, and these young men are fighting under very, very hot conditions here. Not calculated to help their stamina any. Clay definitely has slowed down. Less than half a minute left in the round. Almost over. There's the bell. The fight of the week, welterweight champ Emil Griffith takes on Yama Bahama in a non-title middleweight 10-rounder at Madison Square Garden. Griffith KO'd Benny Perret in April to win the title and stopped Gaspar Ortega last month in his first defense. Last year, Griffith beat rugged Florentino Fernandez. He has won 24 out of 26 fights, scoring 9 knockouts. Bahama is enjoying one of his finest years with 5 wins and a draw so far. In his last outing, he looked particularly impressive, defeating Jose Gonzalez. He has won 66 out of 80 fights, 21 of them by knockouts. Welterweight champion Emil Griffith versus Yama Bahama in a non-title middleweight bout next Saturday on the Fight of the Week, brought to you by the Gillette Safety Razor Company and by El Producto, America's largest selling quality cigar. Coming up to round 7, a reminder that 2 weeks from tonight, August 5th, Gene Fullmer defends his middleweight title against Florentino Fernandez in Ogden, Utah. Round 7, Cassius Clay, the white trunks, has dominated the fight so far. Johnson in black. My unofficial opinion, I would guess that if Johnson were going to win, it's got to be by a knockout. The body punching of Johnson could be taking its toll on Clay now. The young man doesn't look as sharp as he did earlier. His punches haven't got that early zip. Johnson has not been able to land a big one to the head, however. Clay has landed many up there. One minute to go in round 7. Knockdown. Nope. That's the second non-knockdown. 10 seconds to go in round 7. There's the bell. Coming up to round 8, Alonzo Johnson, black trunks, Cassius Clay in white. Referee Don Asbury. No official knockdowns in the fight so far. Clay pretty far ahead. Johnson is finally using a left jab. Round 8 about half over. terribly hot under these ring lights here in Louisville. Both fighters apparently affected by it. There's the bell ending round 8. Over in Cassius Clay's corner, facing him is Angelo Dundee, as I told you earlier, the well-traveled trainer. You saw him in many of the famous fights of Carmen Basilio in Carmen's corner, also with Luis Rodriguez. And 2 weeks from tonight, on August 5th, Angelo will be in the corner of Florentino Fernandez as he tries to lift the middleweight crown from the brow of Gene Fulmer in Ogden, Utah. And that fight, incidentally, will be on our fight of the week, but will be blacked out in the Ogden, Salt Lake City area. So that's 2 weeks from tonight. Next Saturday night, by the way, again, Emil Griffith in a non-title fight. He's the welterweight champion with Yama Bahama. We're coming up to round 9 here in Louisville, and at the end of round 8, many of the spectators were getting a little bit restless. Round 9, Cassius Clay, the white trunks, Alonzo Johnson in black. Clay still leaves himself off balance when he throws a long right hand. No knockdowns in the fight. You can hear the crowd calling for more action. One minute to go in round 9. Johnson is very, very tired, but Clay apparently doesn't have the punch to stop him. Seconds to go in round 9. There's the ball.
cool, refreshing lift you crave. Try a Gillette foamy shave. Shave and cool and shave and wet. Beats any kind of shaving yet. Shave Gillette.
Drop a workout with a Gillette Foamy Shaving Cream shave, and man, you've got something. It's fast, refreshing. Rich, creamy foamy makes your razor glide across your face, and this full-bodied lather stays moist from start to finish. No wonder more men are switching to foamy than any other instant lather. And foamy contains K34, the antiseptic that destroys harmful bacteria. Regular size 79 cents, giant economy size 98 cents. For that extra cool feeling, get foamy with menthol added.
Coming up to round 10, the bell is sounded. Referee Don Asbury hasn't touched gloves. Cassius Clay, the white trunks. Alonzo Johnson in black. On our unofficial scorecard, Clay is way ahead. There have been no knockdowns. The scene of the combat, the Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center in Louisville, Kentucky. A beautiful building. Johnson's real weary. Let's see what they call that. That's the third time Johnson's been down, but there have been no official knockdowns. More than a minute left to go in this fight. Johnson's having trouble lasting now. He's exceptionally tired. About 40 seconds left. The crowd very pro-Clay here in Louisville, rooting for him to score a knockout. "20 seconds left. Well, there'll be no knockout. Only a few seconds left. There's the final bell. Alonzo Johnson, Cassius Clay. And we'll have the decision in just a minute. State Athletic Board Chairman Bob Evans is going over the cards on the left-hand side of the ring. Announcer George Lewis is reaching over, waiting for them. Scoring here in Louisville is on a 5-point must system. The winner of a round gets 5 points. The loser, anything less than 5. And even rounds are scored 5 points each. It was a one-sided fight. I don't think there's any question about that. We'll have the decision in just a moment. I guess we're about ready for George Lewis. Checking the card of the referee, Don Asbury.
Referee Don Asbury, 50-44 Clay. Judge Harold Edwards, 48-45 Clay. Judge Walter Beck, 48-47 Clay. And the winner by unanimous decision,
Cassius Clay, the winner. The more they announce it, the closer it got, however. Don Asbury apparently gave Clay every round. 10 rounds at 5 points each, 50-44 for Johnson. Harlow Edwards had it 48-45, and Walter Beck just had a squeaker, 48-47. Nevertheless, the unanimous decision for former Olympic heavyweight champion or light heavyweight champion of the AAU, Cassius Clay, and hard-hitting, aggressive Alex Mitteff of New York City. Clay, only 19 years old, has gotten off to a flying start as a pro, winning all 8 of his bouts and scoring 5 knockouts. As an amateur, he won the Olympic and National AAU light heavyweight titles and the Golden Gloves heavyweight crown. The 26-year-old Mitteff, who hails from Argentina and fights out of New York, is rated as a rough, tough cookie in the squared circle. Once number 4 among the heavyweights, he has been held back because he cuts too easily. In 35 fights, Mitteff has won 24, lost 10, and drawn once. He has KO'd 14 opponents and was stopped 4 times, 3 of these because of cuts. Mitteff stands 6 feet 1/2 inch, while Clay is 6 2.5. At the State Athletic Board weigh-in this morning, Mitteff was 210 pounds, while Clay was a light 188. In just a few minutes, a 10-round heavyweight fight between Alex Mitteff and Cassius Clay will get underway. We're ready now to get festivities underway here in Freedom Hall, so let's go up into the center of the ring and our good friend, the announcer, George Lewis.
ladies and gentlemen, we have as our guest this evening the former heavyweight champion of the world, Ezzard Charles. All right, Ezzard. Ezzard Charles. And ladies and gentlemen, also in the ring tonight, the former welterweight champion who last week lost his title to Benny Perrette in a split decision, Emil Griffith. This is a William H. King presentation. The ring officials are assigned here by the Kentucky State Athletic Board of Control, H.D. Glenn, Deputy Commissioner. Your judges are Walter Beck and Bill Cook. Your timekeeper, Ed Roby. Counting at the knockdowns, Art Gehring. Your attending physician, Dr. C. Wabner. Your referee, Don Asbury. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing, and presenting from Louisville, Kentucky, weighing 188 pounds, Cassius Clay. And his opponent from Argentina, weighing 210 pounds, Alex Mitteff.
Excuse me. You boys both had your instructions today at the State Board of Athletic Control office. So without further ado, we'll shake hands now. We'll come out fighting, and good luck to you both.
Okay. Scoring here in Louisville is on the 5 points must system. 5 points to the winner of the round, 4 or less to the loser. In an even round, they each get 5. They have the mandatory 8 count. If a man goes down, if a man is floored 3 times in one round, that is the end. It's an 18-foot ring, 8-ounce gloves. Here's round 1. Mitteff in the black trunks, Clay in the white. As you'll notice, Clay has very quick hands. Mitteff likes to be the aggressor. I haven't seen him quite crouch so much as he's been doing tonight so far. He's a good two-fisted battler. However, if Clay continues to rip in those punches, he may open a cut or two on Mitteff. At 188 pounds, Clay is lightning fast. A lot of those punches are blocked, by the way. This will unquestionably be the toughest fighter that Clay has been in with so far in his undefeated march. A minute and a half left in round 1. A real salvo by Clay. One minute to go in round 1. Clay has really opened fast. Ten seconds to go in round 1. There's the bell. Coming up to round 2 in Louisville in the beautiful Freedom Hall. Alex Mitteff, the black trunks, Cassius Clay in the white. Clay had a big first round. That's scheduled for 10. Don Asbury, the referee. Mitteff himself has scored heavily here. He could have hurt Clay with one of those punches on the far side of the ring. Those hooks to the body are calculated to do no good, to use a cliche. Now Clay has gone flat on his feet to get more power in his punches. Mitteff evening up things a little bit. Oh, these are thunderous punches the boys are unwielding here in round 2. A little bit more than a minute left in this round. Clay has been hurt a little bit. Clay has been slowed down to a walk. Mitzef is willing to take one or two or three to give one. Round two almost over. There's the bell ending round two. I don't think either man heard the bell. Back to the corner with Cassius Clay, who had 188 pounds tonight, is 4.5 pounds lighter than the last time he fought. Facing him is trainer Angelo Dundee and his second, Solomon McTeer, who is a fighter himself. Clay is managed by a Louisville sponsoring group of 11 managers led by Bill Faversham, who once boxed and played football. Alex Mitzef in his corner as the Emil Griffith crew. Howard Albert and Gil Clancy. Gil Clancy in front of him, Howard Albert on the left, and coming from California to help tonight, a young man named Roy Perry, who has fighters out on the coast himself. Mitzef, after a very rugged first round for Clay, Mitzef has come roaring back here to make the contest very even, in our opinion, as we come up to round three. There's the bell. Clay in the white trunks, Mitzef in black. Quite a repertoire, hasn't he? Mitzef paid for that. There are two questions here. How much head punching can Mitzef take? How much body punching can the younger 19-year-old Clay take? Mitzef wants to get in there and hold if he can. He's 12 pounds heavier. And if Clay is smart, he'll stay out of the clinches. One minute to go in round three. 10 seconds to go in round 3. There's the bell. The bell is sounded for round 4. Cassius Clay in white trunks, Alex Mitteff in black. Scheduled for 10 rounds. Cassius Clay undefeated after 8 fights. He's been well schooled, you can see by his moves. He knows all the punches. Mitteff probably figures that Clay is 6 feet 2.5. There's so much to aim at, he just throws at the body and figures he'll hit something. Mitteff isn't getting in the solid punches to the head that Clay is. His punches to the head so far have been grazing punches, but not to the body. They've been hard. Clay, the good counter puncher. About a minute left in round 4. Clay is holding on for a change. Somebody's going to break an arm in there. There's the bell ending round 4. Referee Don Asbury talking to Gil Clancy, the trainer of Alex Mitteff. Incidentally, Asbury, a former fighter himself, was a good one. He was the All-Navy light heavyweight champion back in 1932. And now our referee, Don Asbury, is also a psychologist. He's got a degree in psychology. Here's something of interest to all sports fans. Saturday is Sports Day on ABC. The best in boxing, the best in bowling on Make That Fair after the fight. And NCAA football, the cream of the college crop. Next Saturday, it will be Michigan State University against the University of Michigan at Ann Arbor. And tomorrow, the American Football League television games are Buffalo at Houston and Dallas at Denver. Check your local paper for time and station on ABC, television's #1 network for sports. Round 5 here in Louisville. Cassius Clay, the white trunks, Alex Mitteff in black. Clay opens fast every round. He's a picture fighter. Mitteff, rugged and tough and game, as you can see. So far as we can see, Mitteff has not been cut. Clay has just been too fast for Mitteff most of the time. A minute and a half left in round 5 of a 10-rounder. Now Mitteff is very puffy around the left eye. There's a swelling there, and it looks as though it might close. One minute to go in round 5. Now there's a trickle of blood below the left eye of Alex Mitteff. Clay just outspeeding the veteran. 10 seconds to go in round 5. There's the bell. Coming up to round 6 here in Freedom Hall at the Kentucky Exposition Center. Cassius Clay, the white trunks, Alex Mitteff in black. Mitteff, formerly from Argentina, now of New York City, weighing 210. Clay from Louisville weighs 188. Mitteff is pretty far behind in our estimation, and his hope is to get in a desperation punch. He's still a dangerous puncher, Mitteff is. Mitteff's left eye closing rapidly. Trickle of blood below it. That's Mitteff down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He doesn't know where he is. They're going to stop it, and they should. It's a knockout victory for Cassius Clay. That's Alex Mitteff. He went as far as he could. Flesh, blood, and sinews couldn't carry him any further. Cassius Clay comes over to commiserate with him. Howie Albert with the glasses and Gil Clancy, his trainer, wiping him off. A sudden surprise ending. There's a very happy Angelo Dundee talking with referee Don Asbury. Cassius Clay, Solomon McTeer, his very good friend, putting the robe on him. And Cassius Clay continues undefeated. He has now won 9 in a row and 6 by knockouts. I think this was his toughest bout so far, without any question. But after the 3rd round, it was Clay just roaring and pulling away, showing a fine arsenal, a fine repertory of punches. Alex Mitteff is getting a hand as he comes over. Pats Clay on the shoulder. I guess Mitsev got hit with every punch in the book. A gamer fighter would have gone down earlier. He just ran out of gas. For a time in the second round, it seemed that Mitsev was taking command of the fight and was possibly going to win it. But Clay is a much better fighter than most people had figured for a young fellow of only 8 fights. There's Alex Mitsev. Roy Perry now wiping him off. It's the time.
And 45 seconds of the 6th round, and the winner by a TKO, Cassius Clay.
There is a discrepancy in the time. I looked at the clock the minute the bout was stopped, and it said 1:14. George Lewis, the announcer, said 1:45. Well, we'll split the difference and say he's right. Remember, ABC every Saturday for the fight of the week. Have I got a minute? George Lewis, the ring announcer, is the only one in the ring now, so I'll pay my tribute to him. He was right on the time. It was 1:45. The 1:14 that came to me, I took a quick look at the clock when the bout was stopped by referee Don Asbury, and it said 1:14. However, that was 1:14 remaining, and they had punched it 1 second late, which we had 1:15 remaining, and to subtract that from 3 minutes, the time was 1:45 of the 6th round. Cassius Clay stopping Alex Mitsev. Clay weighing 188 pounds, Mitsev 210 pounds. The biggest victory for Clay in his career so far. He's won 9 out of 9, 6 by knockout. Next Saturday at Madison Square Garden, the fight of the week brings together Jorge Fernandez and Cecil Shorts in a 10-rounder. Fernandez defeated Ted Wright, Dennis Moyer, and Isaac Logard on the fight of the week earlier this year. A hard hitter, he has scored 50 knockouts while winning 73 out of 79 fights. Shorts has defeated welterweight champion Benny Kid Perret, outpointed Isaac Lugard, and KO'd Fernando Barreto. A solid right-hand thumper, Shorts has won 19 out of 27, scoring 9 KOs. Fernandez versus Cecil Shorts next Saturday on the fight of the week. Produced by Hugh Beach. Directed by Marshall Diskin. Associate Director Bill Lilling. Technical Director Al Uzel. Stay tuned for the... Okay, Floyd, here's Michael Spinks, the...
Kentucky.
programming here on HBO. Right now, let's take a look at some of what's in store for us. Welcome to the Fight of the Week. I'm Don Dunphy, your ringside commentator. 2 glamorous, power-punching young heavyweights provide the action. Two glamorous, power-punching young heavyweights provide the action as unbeaten Cassius Clay of Louisville meets Sonny Banks of Detroit in the 10-round feature at Madison Square Garden. The bout originally scheduled for tonight between Eddie Machen and Cleveland Williams was postponed because of a training injury to Machen. Cassius Marcellus Clay is but 20 years old, but he's making a strong imprint on the sport of pugilism. As an amateur in 1960, he won the AAU light heavyweight, the Golden Gloves heavyweight, and the Olympic light heavyweight crowns. As a professional, he has won all 10 bouts, scoring 7 knockouts. Lucian Sonny Banks is 21 years old. Till now, he hasn't been as spectacular as Clay, but he may pack more power in a single punch. In 12 starts, Banks has won 10, scoring 9 knockouts. He was stopped by Joe Shelton, whom he KO'd later, and outpointed in a 5-rounder by Chuck Garrett. That last was a year ago. Since then, Banks has scored 5 straight knockouts, all in 5 rounds or less. Banks is 6'2", while Clay is 6'2½". At the commission weigh-in today, Clay scaled 194½, while Banks was 191¼ In just a moment, we'll bring you the 10-round heavyweight fight between Cassius Clay and Sonny Banks. All ready to go here at Madison Square Garden, and our ring announcer, Johnny Addy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 2 very good boxing shows in New York next week. At the St. Nicholas Arena Monday night, lightweights, Jackie Kelly and Joey Donovan meet in a 10-rounder. And 1 week from tonight, here at Madison Square Garden, return bout, former welterweight and middleweight champion Sugar Ray Robinson will meet Denny Moyer, the feature attraction of 10 rounds. Now, here are the ring officials assigned by the New York State Athletic Commission. The judges, Frank Forbes, Joe Agnello, timekeeper George Bannon, counting for the knockdowns Johnny Colan, your referee for the main event, Ruby Goldstein. From Louisville, Kentucky, wearing white trunks, weighing 194½ pounds, the former Olympic champion and undefeated as a professional, Cassius Clay. His opponent from Detroit, Michigan, wearing black trunks, he weighs 191¼ pounds, Sonny Banks. Main event, 10 rounds.
Is there any question or questions either one of you boys would like to ask about the rules of New York State? Do you feel you know about the mandatory 8 count? You know that when a man gets knocked down, he must take the mandatory count of 8, and the other man goes to a neutral corner, remains there till I tell him. You know what? You shake hands now, not when you come out, and good luck to both of you.
Scoring here in New York is on a rounds basis with a supplementary point system. If the rounds come out even on an official's card, we have a mandatory 8 count, as Ruby told you, and a 3 knockdown rule. A man floored 3 times in a round is out for good. Round 1, 10 rounds scheduled. Clay in the white trunks and Banks in black. If Banks does anything, it's figured to be early. He's a power puncher early in a fight. Clay is the most loquacious heavyweight since Jack Sharkey. He's ranked 9th by Ring Magazine. Banks is unranked. Banks' power mostly is in his right hand. Banks, by the way, making his first appearance on national TV. Clay has been on television twice. Clay has dazzling speed of hands and feet when he opens up. Banks is trying to reach him good with that right hand. Banks is reputed to have quick hands. Like Floyd Patterson, I say reputed to, we were seeing him for the first time ourselves. Ruby Goldstein, the referee. There goes Clay on the floor. He's got to take the mandatory 8 count. There's the mandatory 8 count. 1 minute to go in round 1. Boys are punchers. Don't turn away. Less than half a minute to go in the round. Seconds to go in round 1. There's the bell. First time that Cassius Clay was ever down. So he gets in there with great fighters like Marciano and Lewis, who also were down occasionally, but were great nevertheless. Banks came here to fight. So did Clay. Clay knows he can take no chances now with either hand of Banks. Less than 2 minutes to go in round 2. Fighters who come out of a crouch, as Banks is on occasion tonight, have caused confusion to many great fighters. But Clay can't be classified as a great fighter as yet. Let's see if they count that a knockdown. No. Banks was bothered by that punch, but Ruby Goldstein ruled it no knockdown. Now he hurt Clay again. Banks apparently has power in either hand. A minute to go in round 2. Everybody's been looking for Banks' right hand. It's the left hand that he's causing the trouble with. There goes Banks down. That's a knockdown, all right. A flash knockdown, just like the one that floored Clay in round 1. Mandatory 8 count. Now the knockdowns are even. 15 seconds to go in the round. Over. There's the bell. Let's go back to the corner of Cassius Clay of Louisville. And in that corner, we see his trainer taking the mouthpiece out. That'd be Angelo Dundee. On the right-hand side, leading in the veteran Nick Florio of the Florio brothers. And just coming into the picture, the very fine trainer and co-manager of Emil Griffith, the former welterweight champion, Gil Clancy, who's now putting a little Vaseline on the face of Cassius Clay. Meanwhile, over on the other side of the ring, we have Lucian Sonny Banks of Detroit. And facing him in dead center of the ring is trainer Ted McWhorter. Leaning in from the right-hand side, the veteran Harry Wiley, who has been a trainer of Ray Robinson for some 22 years, and rubbing the arms of former fine heavyweight from Detroit, Johnny Summerlin. Summerlin's on the left. Scoring one knockdown. Is round 3. And both have shown inexperience at times. Clay's had only 10 professional fights, and Banks has had 12. Clay's leaving his hands a little bit low. That's understandable when Banks fights out of a crouch. Clay seems to be coming on a little bit. That's a long, sharp jab that Clay has. Turns it into a left hook on occasion. 2 minutes left in this round. Banks has suddenly become a mark for head punching. The man yelling stay in there is Bill Faversham, one of 11 Louisville businessmen who managed Cassius Clay. One minute to go in round 3. Banks was roughed by that left hook. And he's getting roughed a little more. Banks is in real trouble. But he can punch back yet. 30 seconds left in the round. Ten seconds to go in round 3. Hold everything. Ruby Goldstein is asking the commission physician, Dr. Alexander Schiff, to come in and take a look at Sonny Banks, who had took quite a going over from Cassius Clay in the last round. And let's see whether or not the doctor recommends that the bout be allowed to continue. Apparently, he told Ruby Goldstein to allow it to continue up to a point, to use his own good judgment. Banks was in real trouble, and the ropes kept him from being floored a couple of times in round 3. Banks scored a knockdown in the first round, having Clay down with a good punch, and then Clay floored him in the second round, but the third round was all Clay, as Banks was in real trouble. A warning buzzer is sounded for round 4. Black trunks. Round 4. Goldstein is stopping the fight, that's all. Sonny Banks wants to continue. Only a few seconds for Cassius Clay, coming from behind after being floored in the first round.
What happened in this fight, Cassius?
Well, when I fought George Logan in Los Angeles, we had another sellout house that night. You know, I'm so great. Everywhere I go, I sell out the place. We had about 21,000 people there that night in Los Angeles Sport Arena. George Logan was a Rocky Marciano type fighter. He was real strong, a lot of left hooks and a lot of body punches, and he liked to fight in close, and the only time that he would hit me is when he would maneuver me into a close position. But I kept my distance that night as usual, and I fired a lot of left jabs and a lot of body punches and right crosses and left hooks, a lot of dancing, a lot of footwork. And I predicted that I would get George Logan in 4 that night. And I did get him in 4, just as I predicted.
His corner threw in the towel.
Man floored 3 times in 1 round is considered out. Scoring here in New York on a rounds basis with a supplementary point system if the rounds come out even on an official's card. Both are undefeated. Forcing the action, Billy Daniels, the black trunks. Cassius Clay in white. Daniels, a good two-fisted battler. Figures to force the action. Clay has tremendously fast hands. The speed of his hands have been compared to that of champion Floyd Patterson. Clay figures to double and triple jab. He'll stick that left out whenever he can and backpedal whenever he can. Risky business going around with your hands dangling at your sides, as Cassius says, but I guess he knows what he's doing. It's a hot night in New York. The thermometer hit 99 this afternoon. Cooled off a little, but not a great deal, so it's pretty warm here in the St. Nick's under these ring lights. Is scheduled for 10 rounds. They're wearing 8-ounce gloves. Mark Kahn, the referee, a good one. To go in round 1. Billy Daniels, the black trunks, Cassius Clay in white. Big heavyweights. Seconds to go in round 1. There's the bell. Coming up to round 2 here in the old St. Nick Arena. Billy Daniels, the black trunks, from St. Albans, New York City. Cassius Clay from Louisville, Kentucky. Daniels, by the way, was born in East Arcadia in North Carolina. Now lives in New York. Now Clay has gone flat-footed to get more power in his punches. He's also moving in on Daniels instead of backpedaling. Cassius lives dangerously with those hands down low, but they are quick hands. Daniels, like Clay, is undefeated, has won 3 more bouts at 16. By Sonny Banks when they fought, but got up to knock Banks out. I told you he was living dangerously. A little less than a minute to go in round 2 of a 10-rounder. There in Daniels' corner as Mark Kahn gets him out. Heaving from the outfield. Which reminds me that Pee Wee Reese, the old Dodger star, is among us. There's the bell ending round 2 of a corker. Daniels almost took Clay out, but Clay came roaring back at the finish. It's a 10-rounder. Here's round 3. Cassius Clay in white trunks, 196 pounds. Billy Daniels in black, 189. Clay is now picking up the pace, and he has reopened the cut above the left eye of Billy Daniels. And Daniels is starting to telegraph that right hand. Because of the cut over that left eye, Daniels probably has been told to try for a quick knockout. Clay is grunting as he throws his punches in there. Daniels dead game, no question about it, but Clay has taken charge. It's hot here tonight. You'll see the variety of punches that Clay has. Jab, hook, right, right cross, straight right, swinging right. so often. Daniels comes back with a crusher. 1 minute to go in round 3. Clay holding on. Goes very far. Both are bound to get tired in this heat, and with the terrific pace they're setting for heavyweight. To go in round 3. There's the bell. Dr. Samuel Swetnick of the commission took a look at Daniel's left eye, which has a cut over it between rounds. Here's round 4. Daniels the black trunks, Clay the white trunks. Mark Kahn, the referee. So far, scheduled for 10 rounds. Clay's got the hands up a little higher now. He's looking for an opening for his right hand. Daniels cut over the left eye again. Has developed another cut near the left eye, as if things weren't tough enough for him, but he's battling gamely in there. Got Clay holding on. The bell ending round 4. And the commission doctor, Dr. Samuel Swetnick, is coming up into the corner of Billy Daniels once again. The crowd wants him to get out of there, however. He's talking to Mark Kahn, the referee, and apparently saying it's all right for the moment. Now here's something of interest to all sports fans. Every weekly, America's #1 network for sports. Coming up to round 5 in the old St. Nick's Arena. Billy Daniels, the black trunks, in jeopardy because of that cut left eye. Cassius Clay in the white trunks, both undefeated. Daniels having won 16, Clay 13. Daniels has kept things even with that solid right-hand punch to the head. There have been no knockdowns. Daniels has hurt Clay a couple of times in this round, as you saw. But Daniels is bleeding from around the left eye again. And now the blood is starting to bother Daniels. 10 seconds to go in round 5. Now hold everything, hold everything. Hold everything. There's the bell ending round 5. And they've got a lot of work to do over in Daniels' corner. Freddie Brown working on the eye. The commission doctor has not come up into the ring right now, however. And the corner is working on it. Incidentally, this is the last televised fight ever from the St. Nicholas Arena. The old building is going to be torn down in the near future. It was opened for fighting back in 1906. And in the future it will be an ABC television center. There will be 2 Monday night fights here, 2 nights from now and again the following Monday, and that will ring down the curtain on sports activities here in the old St. Nicholas Arena, at least for boxing. Round 5 has gone by here with Billy Daniels and the black trunks and Cassius Clay in the white. Daniels has given a tremendously good account of himself here tonight. trying to show that Cassius has speed of play. It's questionable whether the bout can continue, though, because of the condition of Daniels' left eye. He has cut around it, over it and around it. This is round 6 of a 10-rounder. 1 minute to go in round 6. Seconds to go in round 6. There's the bell. Round 7 here in the old St. Nicholas Arena. Cassius Clay of Louisville in the white trunks weighing 196. Billy Daniels of New York, the black trunks 189. Daniels has given an impressive performance so far. Clay got off winging in the first 2 rounds, but big punches by Daniels have taken charge since then. Daniels fighting with the handicap of a cuts around his left eye, several of them. Both heavyweights undefeated. It's hot here. I told you earlier it was 99 here at one time in New York today. There have been no knockdowns. Starting to come back a little bit now. 1 minute to go in round 7. That's all. Mark Kahn is stopping it. Julie Isaacson is protesting furiously. Big Julie is the manager of Billy Daniels and Cassius Clay.